JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a masterpiece of creative freedom. I've been caught up with the anime of JoJo's for a few years now, but after recently reading JoJo Part 6, Part 7, and Part 8, I've been brutally reminded of Araki's genius and his sheer creativity. I mean, what the hell is even going on inside this man's head? I've never seen another anime or manga have the same level of creative freedom in its writing as much as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Even something like adding a simple bizarre in the title of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gives him the freedom to do all sorts of wacky weird stuff and somehow make it be a natural part of the story. It's just incredibly well thought out and we don't give the man enough credit for it. An anime spanning across several generations, with each generation or each part having its own story, is just an incredible premise for an anime. Even though Araki is creating a generation spanning epic narrative, which is already an insane achievement in itself, each part being so different from the other makes it even more impressive and unique. All the parts have different settings, the cast of characters are completely different, and they even have different individual genres. I'm just in love with how intentionally diverse the genres are for each part. You could tell that Araki wanted to play around with his story and challenge himself as an author by writing various different genres that are completely different from each other but are equally challenging and fun for him to write. For example, part 1 is a gothic horror, part 2 is a low fantasy, part 3 is an adventure story, part 4 is a slice of life manga, part 5 is a crime drama, part 6 is a prison break thriller, part 7 is a sports manga, part 8 is a pure mystery. The only thing connecting these genres is the bizarre tone and style that JoJo has, its battle shonen aspect, and of course its amazing iconic magic system. Magic systems are a really underrated aspect in action stories, which can make your anime feel really creative and super exciting to follow. And Stance in JoJo is one of the most unique ones that you'll ever find, not just in anime but in fiction as a whole. It's just a brilliant magic system. Only in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure will you hear a dialogue like this in the middle of an intense fight scene.
これが謎の答えか。爪も肉も骨もコンドームみたいにベロベロになっている。
And make you go, yeah, that makes complete sense. On the surface, if we think about it, JoJo does have a fairly simple power system. You get a stand which can use a single ability. This is how it works in most battle shonens. But unlike other battle shonens, this one in particular is written by an insane man who's super high on drugs. Stance in JoJo started off fairly simple in part 3, having basic abilities like shooting fire or punching hard. But as Araki got more and more used to writing the power system, the abilities and the fights just got weirder and more creative. The fights aren't about who can punch the hardest, it's more so about who can be more creative and adaptable with their stance. The possibilities are simply just endless when it comes to the abilities and the fights in JoJo. And to add to the sheer creativity of the action in JoJo, making stands be a physical manifestation and having their own designs makes things so much more fun, and it gives Araki another opportunity to flex his skills and creativity as an artist. Each stand designs are so fun and super unique to look at. On top of that, naming the stands as a reference to the Western music that Araki loves and indirectly recommending that music that he loves to his Japanese readers back when the internet wasn't a thing is something truly genius that I cannot help but respect. As a fan of Japanese anime and Western media while being an Indian, I could really relate to the passion of wanting to share your interests with other people who may not know how good those interests can be. Which is a good gateway to the next aspect of JoJo that makes it such a refreshing creative masterpiece. Araki's influences, his taste and his mindset isn't limited to Japan, nor is it limited to just the West. The things that he's influenced by and the things that he wants to write about are global.
Mohammed Abdul! Yes, I am!
Jojo's premises aren't just linear with its generation spanning narrative, but they're two-dimensional when you add to the fact that the series is global in nature. The story takes place in multiple countries around the world throughout all the different parts. Heck, part 3 alone is an adventure story that focuses on the cast of characters traveling through multiple countries at a time. Watching Jojo characters have weird stand battles and be gay in the middle of an Indian street was an absolutely hilarious experience. While some of the Indian representations in Jojo were kind of stereotypical, it still had a lot of heart and it was just super cute in general. You could really feel Araki's passion for different countries, different cultures, and what makes them special. The series never stops being refreshing in its representation of different countries. On the contrary, Araki simply got better and better at representing different places as the story went on. But the diversity and the flexibility of JoJo's doesn't end there. The main protagonists in each part are extremely diverse as well and just as different from each other as the story's premises. A gentleman Jojo, a flamboyant Jojo, a stoic badass Jojo, a female Jojo, and even having a disabled Jojo as your protagonist. Jojo is always trying to do something new and refreshing at everything that it does. Even characters like Jonathan, who I found to be super boring, ended up being a character who I really appreciated as I experienced more of Jojo and I realized how special he was, being the only gentleman Jojo of the entire series. Adding subtle messages and character parallels like Josuke, a bastard son in the Jojo lineage, having a personality that is closer to Jonathan more than any other Jojo is just one small example of the understanding and the empathy that this series has at capturing life. We don't talk about this much since Jojo is divided into parts, but Araki has written over 130 volumes of Jojo so far. To put that into perspective, that's 30 volumes more than the amount of volumes that One Piece have. Yet the series feels just as refreshing, just as ambitious, just as bold as ever. It's not a small feat at all that a series that started airing in the 1980s still feels more refreshing and unique than works that are being made today. Jojo is known mostly in the anime community for how memeable and goofy it is, which I admit it is, but sometimes people take for granted the things that it has been able to achieve with its creativity. The growth that Araki has shown as an author and as an artist throughout the entirety of Jojo's runtime is nothing short of exceptional and otherworldly. Araki feels like a different entity, obsessed with his own growth. As creators and as fans of art and media, you can't help but feel inspired by the ease at which Araki creates and executes so many bizarre concepts and ideas in his story. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure is a marvelous feat of creativity and a truly incredible work of art. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me talking about the creativity of Jojo and just being grateful towards it and towards Araki. If you have enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And share this video with your Jojo friends if you found this video worth watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.